All right.
Hello and welcome to our channel. We are coming to you live from Alameda, California. My name is Alexa, aka Rizalite, aka Lex, Lexi, A to the Lex, haha.
Excellent, and
I am not his sister.
Oh wow.
Deep cut. And today we have our very special guest.
Yes, Daniel. That's it.
Wow.
So
We just watched the movie.
A complete unknown.
You know?
This movie.
Ay, basta buhay, ano ba yan? Bop.
Okay. Well, that was the right choice, reacting to that move.
Anyway.
So
do you want to preface this with the context of our
we've been
lives?
watching. This is part of our Best Picture nominations 2025. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
2025 Best Picture nominations. And this was one of the films nominated for Best Picture, starring Ťīmøťħėe Çħåłâmêț, Edward Norton, Elle Fanning.
Yeah. The other people I don't really know so much. So.
Right. And it's the life biopic of Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Yeah.
We like biopics.
Yeah.
Biopics tend to.
Biopics are hit or miss. Like, it's like a lot of it comes down to picking the right person to be them.
Sure.
And
a lot of times it's also based off of like a book.
Oh yeah, boobs. What the sheesh? Okay, that's fine. Just let me. I'm gonna go now. Okay, thank you.
Anyways. I don't know. Maybe they busted a tire or something. Anywho, so Bob Dylan.
Bobby Dylan. I don't know nothing about him. I just remember when we watched
music.
It's not. Okay. Well, I will say I just remember the when we watched the one about when they recorded "We Are the World."
Yeah.
And it was, that's like in the 80s then. But then it was like he was having kind of a difficult time with singing something for the song, and then like, who was it, like Michael Jackson or like Stevie Wonder like had to like help guide him because he like. And then I also think of like Jimmy Fallon doing like an impression of him, because he's not like a singer. He's like a folk singer, and his voice is very like it's very not
very weird.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's just kind of
that's the worst impression. I'm sorry.
It's just kind of a caricature.
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he's not even that great of a singer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great songwriter. Don't get me wrong. His music is like, I can see like the appeal, the folk music appeal.
Well, and it was also in the time of like the 60s when there was like war and like the civil rights movement. Like it's the hearkening back to times in the past that are similar to times of today. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, it was also like the whole how folk music was like the sound of social justice at the time, and the civil rights movement, and they had the missile crisis and everything. I thought that was a very interesting scene.
That was interesting. I don't know. And then of course they like do all the touch points of was it like John F. Kennedy being shot, or like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. All that good stuff. It's I think though that like it was a film that was very it almost felt like it wanted to skip the tropes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know,
because it's kind of like, Candle in the Wind, right? Is
Blowing in the Wind.
Blowing
Candle in the Wind is Elton John.
Oh, sorry, Blowing in the Wind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I also
that's his most famous song.
I also did I grew up listening to like Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah.
They mention them, and it's those contemporaries of people like singing these, like they sang each other's songs and like covered them and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's also the thing that like it's folk music takes from like blues, and then it's also like I gather that a big part of it is also Bob Dylan's like pivot into like kind of more
like rock.
Yeah. And yeah.
I thought it was kind of like I found a hard time understanding
his
like
what he's saying because his
no
doing the voice
okay
so much.
There's that too.
Okay.
I made a comment to Alexa like the whole movie I just feel like he smells like he just looks like somebody that's stinky. You know, you see his feet a lot, his nails are overgrown and dirty, and like he just looks like somebody who doesn't shower and doesn't really care that he smells.
But I'm like, okay, towards the end of this, I'm like, okay, like I get that he's just that kind of dude. Like at the end, there's no end like extra scene, but it says that like he won the Nobel Prize for Literature, and he didn't attend the ceremony. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, he's just, it's like, there's a scene, and it kind of made me think of like a heel turn, like in wrestling,
right.
And like, I feel like he's kind of like a Dean Ambrose, John Moxley kind of guy, like just like.
What was the scene where he turned heel to you?
I mean, I don't want to spoil it.
Well, just so I understand what you're talking about.
It was like towards the end, and like it's like he wants to sing these songs, but they're like, no, you have to play these songs, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna play what I want, and like, and like I was like, I get what he's doing, because it's, I don't know, that's kind of punk, like that's just
right. I mean, it's because like I felt like what I gathered from that is like his music was always like counterculture, not what people want to hear. And once his music started to become what people want to hear, he didn't want to play his own music because he wants to play something that is his girlfriend Sylvie had a line where it said he's contrarian. Like he's like a contrarian literary artist. So
he does what he wants.
He does what he wants, but he also doesn't want to do what everybody tells him to do.
I know.
But it also shows how frustrating that can be, and how difficult like it can be to work with him.
I was watching this, and mind you, we've watched how many movies already?
6.
I'd say like 6. Yeah. We watched Wicked and Doom 2 in theaters, and Ťīmøťħėe Çħåłâmêț in that too. I'm like, he doesn't need. I don't know what
he's in everything.
I don't know what he's nominated for, but he doesn't. He's fine. Like
he's in everything.
He is. I mean, I get it. He's like He's kind of trending. He dates Kylie Jenner. Like it's. But and then at home we watched. We watched Nora. Hold on, no. We watched Nora. We watched Emilia Perez, Substance, and Conclave, and I was like, okay, where does this movie go in my like power ranking? And I'm like, I would kind of put it towards the bottom end, but like a little bit of like a couple notches above like the bottom. I didn't like it.
You just don't like Ťīmøťħėe Çħålâmêț.
I mean,
he's just overexposed to you right now.
Yeah, and that's true, but it's just also like I didn't like how they made the characters just kind of typical. Like the wife of the guy, the Asian chick, like she's all her role is just to be like the wise like Asian wife lady.
Well, I mean, it was mostly just you like she exists as sort of like this is what you're feeling as the audience.
Sure.
Like you see her face, and her face reflects what your face is.
And like all the other characters, like the Johnny Cash character, just kind of fits some kind of trope of like, oh, this is the other famous guy that throws some spice into And then like the girls and like
I've never heard of that female artist before. Joan Baez?
Yeah, I didn't hear about it.
No. Joni or something.
I'm like, I don't get why this had
We're
to
not
be,
folk music fans.
I don't get why this had to be as good as it was, because it wasn't.
Well, so we'd always talk about how like these films that are nominated for Best Picture, they're saying something that hasn't been said before in film.
But this one is, I think that,
or it's telling a story that hasn't been told.
It's been done. Like, I feel like everybody else seemed like a more compelling character to me, but I didn't get as much of those characters.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, granted, also like I haven't watched. What's the one that's about Johnny Cash?
Walk the Line.
Walk the Line. I haven't seen.
That was also nominated for Best Picture.
Okay, I mean,
Ray was also nominated.
Maybe
for
that
Best
one was
Picture.
better.
Ray Charles.
But yeah, it's.
Well, hey, here's one thing. He never got into drugs.
He just smoked every like.
Yeah, he was just always smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are y'all like?
He never got into like an alcohol.
Why are y'all riding the motorcycle like all the way to Rhode Island? Like, do you not get sunburned? Like,
I know.
These are the people of the Caucasian, and they don't get sunburned. But okay.
Yeah.
It was just.
One thing for me, and maybe that I just didn't really understand, is why his music felt like the music that he was playing. They made it sound like, oh my God, this is like the devil's music or something like that.
They
made it seem like
people
that.
Were about this stuff.
Yeah, but I guess to me it just, I mean, yeah. The way they were making it, just displaying it though, I felt like it was kind of, it represented both sides, kind of, you know, where it's like people want loud like music that they could vibe to and they can party afterwards after listening to, but
kind of music
they don't want that.
Inspired by like African Americans and this.
Yeah, there's that too. Yes, but I mean, but we made like it was clear though that like Edward Norton's character who plays Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
Or is it Peter Paul Seeger? Pete Seeger.
I feel like I've heard.
He reminded me of my 7th grade teacher, Mr. Grinling, and how it's like he's just that classic Christian American guy who says everything nice. And
he is though. And I was like looking at Wikipedia while we were watching. I'm like, oh, okay.
Everything nice, and he wraps everything in a nice little bow.
He really about that life.
Yeah, I think Edward Norton did a great job. Like the character is great.
Oh, hello.
Probably one of the few like characters that I liked.
Highway patrol.
But yeah, and why was that chick always barefoot? I mean, that was weird. I thought that was weird. But that's probably a real thing.
The Joan?
Joan, yeah.
They about that folk life.
I know.
That's folk.
That's so hippie.
It's just you know, it's very kind of removed from us.
Yeah, it's just you never got to see like why he got famous. You don't get to see like you just see one scene where girls are like flipping out over him, but like I don't really understand how they made him famous.
Why?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, okay, he was playing at that little like underground basement club, and then all of a sudden like,
people flip out over folk singers. I mean, I guess like Ed Sheeran, would you say is kind of like
he just showed up out of nowhere with like a guitar and a dream. Like, okay, I don't know.
I guess so.
It wasn't compelling.
And it's like, you want to hear "Candle in the Wind" by the end of it.
Blowing in the wind.
What? It's the same goddamn.
It's not
You're
the
right.
same.
You're right. It is a very important song of the last century. Blowing in the Wind, and you want to hear it, and that's the whole like thing about the film is like they want to hear the song, they want to hear him constantly playing that in every show, and he doesn't want to play it because he's kind of like selfish and spoiled.
Or that's just me.
But it's more like he just doesn't want to be told what to play and what to sing. You know, I don't. Yeah, he wants to get paid.
I don't see why this was nominated.
It would not be my pick for Best Picture, but I'm glad I watched.
That's also like my personal preference. Like I don't like this movie. I don't think it'll be Best Picture, but I also just have my own opinions of like the movies that we've been watching and like what I like for whatever reasons I have.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I guess what it's trying to say for me is that you can be a voice for change. You can be CM Punk, you know what I mean? But after a long time, your voice is going to be the voice of yesterday. You know what I mean? And people will want to hear that voice, but by that time, you know, you're no longer a voice for change. So it's kind of like it's just sort of the way society just wants to fit people into what they understand them as, and that's part of how we have such a hard time changing. Times are changing, but at least more than
how many times?
Yeah, how many times? It is kind of also the whole thing where it's like, can folk artists, can punk artists, can these little indie bands, like, can they still be cool when they're famous?
It's like
right?
the whole like concept of like being a sellout and like,
yeah, exactly.
And just I don't know.
Yeah, and if you want to not be the ultimate anti-sellout, but it shows that it makes it really difficult. You'll have a difficult time, and you'll be happy.
And also, I mean, that it was such. I also like it's such a different time in music where it's like you hear things on the radio, or like you go to these like music festivals. You know, like these are the origins of the what is it? There's like the no, I forgot. There's like a folk festival in like Rhode Island, and you know we have like the Monterey. I think there's like a Monterey.
Yeah, they had a Monterey folk festival.
They used to have, and nowadays we got the Coachella and the Outside Lands and the Bottle Rock.
Yeah, but that's not like.
Well, but it's. I mean,
those aren't places for like voices for change.
Well,
you know.
I mean, yeah, I know. But
it just made me think like, what artists actually are like that right now? There's not a lot.
That are voices for change.
Well, it's just used like.
Voices for change.
Anyway, that's a whole another conversation. How many cigarettes out of 10 would you give a complete unknown?
I give it a 6.
A 6.
I mean, yeah, I just not my tea.
Okay.
I can give you my current power rankings of all of our movies too.
Well, let me just finish this. I give it a 7 cigarettes out of 10. Wow. Complete unknown. You know, decent film. We came into it completely unknown. Yeah.
And it's completely.
I knew it wasn't going to be my favorite out of all the films already. You know, like I knew, like
there's so many movies.
Plus, it's like I like you. I'm tired of Timothée Chalamet and everything. Like, put somebody else in. Like, he's like the Chris Pratt of like this era. You know what I mean? Like, Chris Pratt had his moment where he was in every freaking thing, and now it's like Timothée Chalamet is in every freaking thing.
And it's, I mean, he's like, I think his parents are like, they're in like the film industry. He's, I don't know.
So, I mean, he's just the dude of the moment right now.
Kind of Nepo Baby-esque.
Sure.
Yeah. Theater kid, kind of. But yeah, I was like, why is he in everything?
He is in everything.
I'm like, I don't know. They could have picked somebody else. They could have picked somebody else to be the main guy, but also like I didn't like the way this story was written and conveyed. I just didn't.
Yeah, it's almost like they wrote it in a way that Bob Dylan would write it. Like, you want them to give you something, but when you finally think you're gonna get what you want, they don't give it to you.
It just felt kind of like. It didn't feel very deep. Like it just.
Okay.
It just was kind of fluffy, kind of cheesy, kind of cliche.
Sure.
Okay, so I think my number. Okay, wait. I go backwards.
Okay, so the films we've seen are The Substance with Demi Moore. We've seen Conclave with Ralph Fiennes.
Amelia Perez.
Anora.
Wicked, Dune 2.
And then
what else
So
we have to watch Nickel Boys. What is it? It's like I'm Here.
The Brutalist and
The Brutalist.
I'm Still Here.
I'm Still Here. And those are like in theaters because a lot of the ones we watch were like at home.
Well, Nickel Boys we can watch coming up because it comes. It's streaming on
Like
February 11th.
Yeah.
But
You wanna hear my countdown? Okay.
Or give me your top three.
Top
well,
three?
fine. Give me your
countdown. So my least favorite is Amelia Perez.
Aww.
Sorry.
Aww. What?
And then,
you're not woke enough. That's why. I'm just kidding.
And then the other one that I didn't like. Shoot. I think I would put Complete Unknown.
Okay.
And then Dune. And then Wicked. What am I missing? What else? And then like I think Conclave. No. Shoot. No, Anora, Conclave, then The Substance. The Substance is my favorite.
Okay.
I don't care. Like
not mine.
I was like, I'm here for this. I'm here for this mess. I love Anora too. I'm like, I was surprised.
But you like Conclave more than Anora.
I was surprised to like that I like Conclave as much as I did. I didn't think I'd like it.
Because you're Catholic.
But it was just like it was like the drama part of it was cool. Anyway. So I'm glad we were able to do this again and watch movies.
Yes.
We are in a time of our lives that is living. And this is the whole drive home. So anyway, is there anything you want to tell the viewers? Anything coming up the pipeline? Anything you want to share?
No, not yet. But just keep an eye out. You know.
Yeah.
You can like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah.
Peace
if you
out,
like
everybody.
what you see, watch our other movie reviews. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, love you. Bye.